Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Kamo. So today on my channel I'll be talking about how I lost my V card. I was 16 years. I want to calculate it. Okay, I was 16 years and about to turn 17, and I felt ready. And I think it wasn't, how do I put it? I had a group of friends who had also lost their virginities. I think like 3 of my friends then, I'm not gonna mention names, had lost their virginities, and they were okay and they were beautiful girls. And I looked at them and I was like, but you know, they okay. Growing up, there was the stigma of once you lose your virginity. I was really scared to lose my virginity. I was really scared to kiss a guy. I dated a lot, but I never went to an extent of kissing or anything. So every time, there was actually a time, guys, when I was like in grade 8, I was dating this other guy. No, I was in grade 7. I was dating this other guy, and we had to go. So my friend, back in primary school, we organized that we were gonna all break our kissing virginities. So my friends and I all gathered up behind the library, and we organized that we were gonna kiss. So everyone had a boyfriend and we had to kiss. But I was a public speaker back then, and I had just done research based on this other topic, and it was mainly based on saliva and how you could get a disease via, it's not a virus, a disease via kissing. And I can't remember in detail, but I knew that even when you kiss, the research that I did was also based on how much cups of saliva you exchange when you kiss someone, and how you could get a disease. And I didn't want to get myself in that. And you can imagine, I was like, how old? I was 12, and I had just found out all these things, and I was like, I'm not going to ruin my life. No, I love myself. I love my life. I'm not going to do this to myself. So on a Friday, we all organized to go kiss these guys, right? And then I remember my friend going first, and then she kissed her boyfriend, and there they were going, and then everyone was like, woo, shouting, how kids are. And it was my turn. And as guys, I love attention. I've always loved attention. That's why in school I did debating, I did public, anything that had to do with being in front of people, I was there. I loved being in front of an audience. I also did modeling. So every time they'd ask me, why do you choose to be a model? I'd always say, there's just something in me that feels, I don't know, there's just something that unlocks in me. And when I'm on stage and I hear people applauding me, there's just something in me that just awakens. I feel something. I can't describe it, but it just feels amazing. Thinking about it now blows my mind, because it's this one amazing thing. So I remember then, something that I kept was that he was standing there underneath a tree, the guy that I was supposed to kiss, and I was standing a little bit backward. Here it was my turn, and I had to kiss this guy. And this guy was really cute. Like, I really, really liked this guy. But kissing him was just not to me. He didn't smell. He didn't have, there was nothing wrong with him. He was one of the coolest guy in my grade then. And I just couldn't. Because when, I remember I approached him and I gave him a hug. And when I just had to, I just couldn't. So I spit. And it was kind of embarrassing, obviously, for him, because I'm doing that in front of everybody, and everybody's just there applauding my friend and her boyfriend, and here I am spitting. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. I think me and that guy broke up, I can't remember. And then I knew that I could not kiss. I could not do it. I then started kissing when I was 14, because for the past year, like for the upcoming years and upcoming boyfriends I had, and I wouldn't really call them boyfriends because we were kids. It was just that thing of being cool and having a boyfriend and having a girlfriend, and so after that, I then came up with the story and I kept on telling my friends. So I was like, anytime, every time, whatever, whenever it happens that I'm dating someone and someone tries to kiss me, I'm going to act like I collapse. So fast forward, grade 8. Grade 8 now is the year where American call it the freshman year. Grade 8 was now the year where I'm new in the school. I had 2 sisters, one in grade no, my other sister, no, I can't remember what my elder sister, which grade she was in, but I remember my other sister was in grade 10 and I was in grade 8, and no, she was in grade 11. Yeah, she was in grade 11 and I was in grade 8. And her classmates, the guys, showed interest in me, and out of respect, I was just like, I'm not going to be dating my sister's I'm not going to be dating my sister's classmates where now I'm dating her friends or anything. So I did not date till that year of my grade 8. My mom got married and we moved to Johannesburg, and then in Joburg that December I met this other guy who was yellow bone, skinny, light. That's all I remember. I can't even, okay, I do remember his name, but I had just met him and this guy was just head over heels on me, and I think he was a bit older. He was like, I think 20, and I was like 14. I was 13, I was 14 turning 15. And I remember this guy just being all over me, and I was just like, look, dude, I know girls my age do kiss, but I'm not ready. Like, I don't want to be kissing. And this guy persisted. There were times where he would try, but I liked it, obviously. Like, I was entertaining him too, but I was not gonna go through having sex or kissing. So I think, yes, on the 14th, 15th, on the 14th or 15th or 16th, somewhere there, I had my first kiss, and it was amazing. Amazing because it was my first, amazing because I couldn't believe it, amazing because I nailed it. I remember telling my sister that December, that day after kissing, that I had just kissed a boy. I'm one person, I cannot keep a secret, especially when it's my secret. Like, I'm okay with letting people that I broke my virginity. I was okay with telling people that I broke my virginity. I'm one person that never wants to hold things in, because if I hold things in, they burden me in a way. So yeah, I had my first kiss. I was excited. I couldn't sleep. There was just this amazing feeling about doing it, and I don't know where that guy ended. Then I got to Porch. Guys, if you know Porch, you know that you have to have a strong character, because, hey guys, I got to Porch and I literally had to have a backbone. So I'm in a new place. We had just relocated to this town. I am making new friends again. I am getting used to, I'm trying to fit in. You know how it is when you get to a new school. The high school I went to was, listen, I came from, I don't know how to, I don't want to project this in a way that I'm being arrogant or in a way that I'll offend other people, but the high school I went to was of people that, like, it was of those people, man. I don't know how to explain it, but I got there and I was different. I was different because I remember me speaking English all the time was a problem. But remember, what they didn't understand was that I was coming from Joburg. And in Joburg, you meet Nigerians, you meet Ghanaians, you meet Zulu people, you meet Xhosas, you meet Pedi, you meet... And I only knew how to speak Tswana, Pedi, Sotho, Afrikaans, and English. And I couldn't interact with Zulu-speaking people. So if you're Zulu and I'm trying to speak to you, the language barrier between us is restricted. So what I had to speak was English. So I had adapted to speaking English to everyone because English was the easiest. I had teachers, one of my teachers, I remember my natural science teacher was from Zimbabwe. And I had just gotten used to speaking English. I was in a private school and it was cool to speak English also. So I now had to learn how to adapt to the tradition of the school that I was adapting to the tradition of that school. Like everything was new. And not to be arrogant or anything, and as a beautiful girl, yes, I am beautiful. You know, some people say I'm arrogant just for saying I'm beautiful. Guys, it's okay to recognize that you're beautiful, and it's okay to call yourself beautiful, period. I'm not saying call other people ugly, but I'm saying it is okay to say you're beautiful, and it doesn't mean I'm arrogant when I call myself beautiful. And as a beautiful girl, as a pretty girl, anywhere and everywhere you go, you will get that attention. You will get people that are going to hate you for no reason. You will get people that admire you. As a human being, you know, sometimes you don't even have to be pretty. Sometimes if you're smart, you develop more enemies than you develop friends. So when you, guys, you get what I'm saying. So I got to that school, and man, it was not easy. I had to wear my big girl pants. So every day I had to mentally prepare myself, because every day was a challenge. So long story cut short, guys, I was in the school for like 2 weeks, and I remember this one time one of my friends was like, hey girl, there's someone that wants to talk to you. And I was like, okay. I had a description of the kind of people that I was interested in, and back then my list went to, it was I think I had said I'm not gonna date a guy that's dark. I didn't want anyone that was shorter than me. I did not want anyone that was stupid or dumb or academically not smart. I didn't want to. I had a list, but I remember my first priority and the top of the list was complexion. And look, I didn't mind chocolate brown, but I didn't want dark, because I don't know, growing up back then, having to date someone dark was like ha ha ha, you know. So I've had such a long span of time not dating, to it got to a point where I was very particular with what I wanted if I do choose to date. And honestly, my priorities then were netball and athletics. I literally did not care about guys. And if you went to high school with me, you know that I was very, very active, and I participated in everything that I possibly could. Fast forward, I asked my friend, I was like, is he dark? And she was like, and I remember being very confused with that, because as much as I've gotten attention as and stuff, I just never had so many people all want my attention all at one time. So I'm here confused, and I'm trying to still, it's only been 2 weeks. I'm trying to get to know my teachers, I'm trying to make friends, I'm trying to understand the environment, I'm trying to fit in, and now this. So for me, it came as a shock, but I was ready to give it a chance. So after I think I was also a bit slow and a little dumb. Before you know it, after having that conversation, later after school, this person approaches me and said, hey, I heard your cousin said it's okay. It's okay for me to talk to you. And I was like, oh, so it's you. And we started having a conversation, and I remember being taken away by how he spoke and his accent, because ever since I've been in that school, I hadn't met anyone that was so fluent, and that enticed me. And I was like, I'd really like to know more about you. It didn't last. Turns out he was one of the popular people in school, and everyone wanted a piece of him. And most girls, I developed a lot of enemies for even speaking to him, because a lot of girls wanted to be me, in a sense of they wanted to be the one with him, you know. And the only reason I think I caught his attention was because I was new in the school, you know, when you knew everyone wants a piece of you till they finish you. That's how it is actually, even in today's life. Guys will always want you when you're new or haven't been around, and then once everyone has a piece of you, they just throw you off. So I got into it not knowing that I was even putting myself in that position. But long story cut short, it didn't last. But I remember us having conversations about how it is going to be done. So there were conversations now being spoken of, because obviously now that we were spending more time together, it came to me having to or voice out that I was not I was still a virgin, and I had only kissed one person. So that it had to be a conversation that had to be brought out. And also I was aware that, okay, now I'm with someone that has obviously been around, so I have to put it out there and let him know that I was not ready. And I was seeing people in my grade that were not virgins anymore. I was like, but they're okay, they're still beautiful, they walk properly. I was analyzing everything, and I was like, but they're okay, you know? So I was like, even if I do it, it's not like gonna be like a big thing because everyone else is doing. It goes now back to how people are peer pressured. Sometimes peer pressure is silent, and sometimes peer pressure is not your friend saying do this, do that. It's you. Sometimes it starts with you. That's why they say it is very, very important to check your surroundings, because if you're friends with people that smoke or drink, at one point or another, the chances are high that you will do it too, because that is the environment that you're projecting yourself onto. Like I said, I evaluated and I kept on asking them questions, and from that I made a conscious decision that I'm going to do this. Why? Because I looked at them and I said, they're okay, they are not gaining weight, they don't look ugly anymore, they're not pregnant, you know. And I kept on coming up with all these things in my mind, and I was like, if this is the case, then why am I so scared? You know, it's not as scary as my grandmother would say, because my grandmother would always say, you have sex, you're gonna fall pregnant. And I was looking at them, and I remember this one friend of mine always said, well, I haven't spoken to her in years, but she always said back then that she's been in the game and she's not even falling pregnant. So things like that got in my head, and I was like, so if I do it and I play safe, then nothing's gonna happen to me. So things didn't end well with this particular famous person. It ended, and now I was out there again, and everybody knew that it ended. So like I was saying, already when I broke up with him, I had that thing of I'm ready already, even though the conversations were being said with him. And I'm so glad, I keep on saying it till this day, that I did not lose it to him. A few months later, I started seeing this one person. So as I was seeing this person, I remember he was sweet, he was my age, and not putting me under pressure or anything. And I personally felt like I was ready, and we spoke about it, and he was not a virgin, but I was a virgin, and I didn't do it for anyone. And that is one thing that I am happy about, was that I did it for me. And I've always been a very particular person on what I want, how I want it, and how I want it to be done, right? So I remember discussing it and telling him how I wanted it. I wanted him to book a hotel. It wasn't the fanciest hotel, but for us then it was, something. I told him I literally did not envision myself losing my virginity at someone's house or a place where we're gonna have to run out or something. So we had everything thoroughly planned. I told him I wanted him to book a place. He saved up money, and actually, it's like, it's like I've always been a very particular person. I've always wanted, like I just said that if I want my wine to be sweet red, it's got to be sweet red. If it's not sweet red, I don't want it. If I want a blue shirt, and it should have sleeves, or if it should have long sleeves, that is what I want, and I will not go for something else either than that. So I mean, look, I'm happy that I broke my virginity to this particular person. I'm happy, no doubts about it. He did what I asked him to do. I said I wanted him to book. I said I wanted flowers everywhere. He didn't get me flowers. And I said I wanted music I wanted to play music. And he did that. I broke my virginity on the 7th of September. I'm not going to tell you guys the year, because then you guys will know how old I am. But yeah, that's you guys will eventually know how old I am. Some of you guys know. I remember praying before it happened. It was, I can't remember how the day went, but I remember we were from school, or no, it was a weekend, and my parents thought I was going to play netball. But what happened is actually that he had booked out a place for us to go, and I was gonna break my virginity. And I was just, it was since September, and I was just about to turn 17 on the 19th. So I broke my virginity when I was 15, about to turn 16. And look, it was beautiful, because, and the main reason why I'm saying I do not regret is because it was a conscious decision that I made. It was a choice that I made. And the one thing I'm happy didn't happen was that he did not leave after it. Because, you know, when you get advice from older people, they're always saying, don't do it, guys will leave you after doing blah 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 blah. Even though we broke up, the breaking up was totally on something else. I remember asking him to pray about it. We prayed, we played music, it happened. I'm not gonna it was different, obviously. I cried after doing it, because then I understood that I was now being, and it's still, I'll always be emotional about it, because you get to understand that you're losing something that you will never gain again. It's not like I could spill this wine now on this pillow, and I could wash the pillow and go pour wine. Losing your virginity happens once, and it will never happen again. It's something really, for me, that is really special, and for the fact that the person I did it with respected that and understood and took and were patient to do it with me. I was thankful, and I've mentioned this so many times. I am one person that always protects their heart. I protect, because I'm a very sensitive person, and you know, it really meant a lot that someone would go out of their way to make sure that your wishes are granted, you know. So yeah, that's how I lost my V card. Yeah. That happened, and I think a couple of months. Also, for people, for those girls that haven't lost your VCOD, this is my experience. I don't know if it has happened to anyone else or anything, but I feel like once you lose it, you know how they always say girls mature faster than guys? Just be careful, because I don't know, but I don't know what happens, but something happens. I now all of a sudden started feeling like I was a big girl and I was matured, and that is also one of the reasons that led to the breakup then, because I started acting funny and started getting annoyed over. I guess it was the thought in my mind of me thinking that I'm now a woman. It also leads you, I think that's how, I don't know, as a black girl, you know how our parents always say, we'll know when you lose it. I think if, besides how they will be talking about how your boobs will fall or your back legs, wada, the main thing is your attitude. Your attitude changes. Your mindset changes. The way you see things changes, and it's like a slow process of changing, which you will not realize, that you will not see, but the people around you see. So I remember, now that I went through it, I remember thinking that sometimes when my grandmother spoke, she didn't know what she was saying, and that I was smarter and that I knew everything. I never want to say I was peer pressured, because no one said go do it. I analyzed and I felt like I was gonna do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you've reached this, if you reached to the end, that means that you've watched everything. Please do comment down below and tell me what you would love to hear from me, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm getting good vibes. Do you guys see it? Oh, I've gained so much weight, but thank you so much, loves, for watching my video. And yeah.